Stranded NSA whistleblower Edward Snowden finally has a place to go. Venezuela has decided to offer him asylum and an escape from the legal limbo which has left him stranded at a Moscow airport since last month. Snowden's wanted in America on espionage charges for leaking details of its global spy program. Let's get details now from RT's Irina Galushko, standing by for us live here on RT. Good morning to you, Irina. What exactly did Maduro have to say about the whistleblower's plight?
Well, he definitely had a lot to say about the United States of America, whom he basically spared no feelings in calling them terrorists and the evil imperialists, as a matter of fact. Of course, the statement came during a parade which was dedicated to the Venezuelan Day of Independence, but it was provoked by an emergency meeting which was held by the heads of the South American countries in Bolivia. And that, in turn, came after an incident with the plane of the Bolivian President Evo Morales, which was essentially pushed out of European airspace after leaving Moscow on July 2nd. Now, the plane was not allowed to go either over Spain's, Italy's, Portugal's, or French airspace because apparently there has been information from a U.S. diplomat who said with certainty that Edward Snowden was hiding on board the Bolivian president's plane. The plane was forced to land in Austria. It was thoroughly searched. Of course, the Bolivian president was outraged, as well as were leaders of other South American nations who have said that essentially European states, European governments have now become colonies of the United States, basically running at their beck and call and doing everything the United States wants them to do. Again, the plane was diverted because of a statement by, apparently by a U.S. ambassador to Austria, who insisted that Edward Snowden was indeed on that plane. So the meeting, so the heads of state of South American nations have met, and then the statement, the offer of asylum came not just from the Venezuelan president, but also from a Nicaraguan head of state as well. But it does look like Venezuela could be the next point of port of call for Edward Snowden, who has applied for political asylum to 27 countries at this point. And of course, he has gotten a lot of rejections to his plea at this moment.
Yeah, absolutely, Irina. So the Snowden saga goes on, but the latest we understand is the Venezuelan President, Mr. Maduro, now saying that Snowden would be welcome in Venezuela. So, I mean, ultimately, I suppose at the end of the day, things are looking up for the former NSA whistleblower.
Well, yes, of course. Now the question is how he is going to get to Venezuela, but that is something to be tinkered out a lot later. Like I said, he has applied for asylum in several countries. A lot of them have actually refused them so far. He has been on the run for you can say he has been on the run for the past several weeks after making after appearing on the Guardian's interview, in which he has exposed the surveillance network surveillance conducted by NSA and the CIA, which essentially was a lot broader than anybody could have ever suspected. Several diplomatic scandals have already broken out because of that, because it does look like the United States has actually been spying even on its European allies at this point, really listening to everything people the world over have to say or to write in their emails. And he has been, it is believed that Snowden has been in the transfer zone of the Sheremetyevo airport for the better part of the last 2 weeks. We have tried to look for him, but all in vain. If he's hidden somewhere, he's hidden really well. But he may make an appearance before leaving to Venezuela or maybe Nicaragua. So really, it's up to Snowden and the leaders of the two states, primarily Venezuela, to figure out what will be their next step.
All right, RT correspondent Irina Galushko, thank you. Now, the founder of Wide Awake News, Charlie McGrath, he says it's puzzling how European countries voiced outrage at Washington's spy tactics, but failed to aid the person who gave them the information.
The laundry list of nations that Snowden has applied to for asylum include scores, right, of these European nations that are just all giving the same excuses that he's got to either show up on their soil or in their embassy. You know, the information that's been released has shown that our allies in Europe were the one, in a lot of cases, the ones being spied on. So for them just to play the, well, we don't want to upset the Americans, so we're going to give the standard answer of no comment, or he's got to show up at the embassy. It's very much frustrating for people like me that want to see the truth come out. But even when you expose the truth, and even when you give this truth to the people who are being spied on, they won't step up and support truth. So yeah, it is a bit frustrating to see these European nations just kind of ignore this outright spying that's happening to them.